Starting with the USB-C connector at the top corner, work clockwise around the logic board to remove cowlings and disconnect cables. Remove the two T3 screws and the cowling from the USB-C connector. Use a black stick at the end of the USB-C connector to disconnect the flex cable. Do not bend the flex cable more than 90 degrees. Use a black stick to disconnect the speaker cable. Remove the two T3 screws and the cowling from the trackpad connector. Use a black stick to disconnect the trackpad cable. Move aside the pull tab on the small fan cable and raise the locking lever. Disconnect the fan flex cable. Open the locking lever on the wider audio cable receptacle and disconnect the cable. Remove the two T3 screws and the antenna cable cowling. Use the antenna tool to disconnect the two wireless antenna cables. Remove the two T3 screws and the cowling from the EDP connector. Use the flat end of a black stick to disconnect the EDP cable. Remove the raised shoulder T5 screw from the center of the logic board. Remove the 5 T5 screws from the logic board. 2 of the 5 screws are short and located under the audio flex and battery cables. Tilt the long edge of the logic board that is closest to the trackpad to clear the antenna cables. Remove the logic board from the top case assembly. Turn over the logic board and remove the 2 screws from the EDP cable. Use a black stick to disconnect the EDP cable. If you are installing a replacement logic board, be sure to transfer the EDP flex cable to the replacement logic board. To install the logic board, hold cables aside as you tilt in the edge of the board closest to the display hinge. Install the logic board screws. Install the longer center screw last. Use tweezers to align the wireless antenna cable over the receptacle. Then, use a black stick or the flat end of the antenna tool to connect the cable. Repeat the process for the other wireless antenna cable. Install the remaining cables, cowlings, and screws. Refer to the service guide to complete computer reassembly.